YouTube muscly folks, what it is. Today, Wendler 531 bench press workout. 3 plus was my numbers, and 185. This is what this is the main set. I got 8 reps. Felt pretty strong today. 3,500 calories is where I'm at. I'm at 5'11", 163 pounds. My body is kind of six-packed out in the low 160s now, which is a new game changer. I mean, I do not have to weigh 150 pounds probably anymore, and I probably should not try to unless I was trying to be like weird bodybuilder lean. I should probably stay in the 160s. Not to say it's weird to be bodybuilder lean, but for me it would be weird because I'm not a bodybuilder. So yeah, I'm no longer a 150 pound man anymore. I think that's a level up, I would say, that I can six-pack out in the low 160s. I feel like I made some good gains in my last couple of bulks, to be honest. I have been kind of favoring more towards like the traditional Wendler 531s lately, where I'm doing bench. I'm just basically doing 3 exercises. I'm not doing any arms at all. And playing a lot of basketball and stuff, which is explosive power, doing a lot of jumping. And eating some good calories. I'm beginning to get to the brink with these calories, man, where I have to really bargain shop, really get me some clearance items, really make sure that I'm getting in some, food to fuel all the activity and to provide a little extra for muscle gain. I think a lot of people undereat in this world that we live in nowadays. I think a lot of folks think they can just run through on too little calories. Now, on the other hand, they'll also build up a bunch of significant body fat, like maybe on the weekend or at Christmas or at some point, maybe a 6-month depressive phase. And they'll, undereat, but they'll do it in a weird way that doesn't actually lose all the weight off. It just loses a little weight, destroys their metabolism, messes up all their muscle mass, and then they wind up sort of perpetually overweight and undereating. And I think undereating makes you real depressed, makes you injury prone. So I worry a lot of times about folks that will allow themselves to go through a 24-hour day with less food than they take it in when they're not intentionally on a diet. Like, I get it if you're trying to just trim some weight off, just slash it down, get rid of it, take some of those old Christmas hams off of your thighs or wherever. I get it, but once you got it off, it's like you got to at some point figure out what's the right amount of energy for you to make it through the day and accomplish all your tasks and stuff and be good at them all and have a clear thinking brain. And ultimately, that's a calorie surplus. Like, that's the only thing that's going to give you the ability to improve your exercise performance over time. Granted, someone obese, I guess they can use their body fat to fuel some of those gains, for it temporarily and stuff. But ultimately, when you got enough food in your system to run your body, you're not going to be depressed as easily. I always liken it that when I'm in a deficit, somebody could give me $2 million, and I would just be concerned about how much the taxes are going to be. You know what I mean? It's always this thing where negativity creeps in all the time when you're in a deficit. It also makes it hard for you to stay mentally focused, to stay in the deficit, which is one reason why prolonged dieting can be really psychologically tormenting. So people do have to bear that in mind. Like, one thing when they intentionally diet, but another thing when they unintentionally diet for a 24-hour period because they're busy at work and they just don't think to eat, or they don't have an appetite, or even worse, you're sick and you decide not to eat. I mean, you see Hillary Clinton looking all weekend at Bernie's earlier this week, and they're saying in another news article on the Hill that her aides are not able to get her to drink any water. She's just refusing to drink it because she doesn't feel like it. Stuff like that is really crazy when people do it. When they just sort of like have a medical problem and they just don't eat because they don't have an appetite. It's really, you don't want to do those type of things. You want to fuel up, especially when you're under some kind of conditions. Unless you're just trying to lean out real quick, temporarily. Like, comment, and subscribe. I sure appreciate all of your time.